you in the sanctuary to behold your power and your glory. Your love is better than life. My lips will extol you. Lord of all worlds, how insignificant we are in your sight, and how minute is your presence. You are creator of the universe so vast that the effort to conceive it overwhelms the mind. The keenest eye scans but a corner of it. The rays of light we see today began their journey long before we came to be. Counted from first creation, the earth we live on was born but yesterday, and we made our appearance only on it a moment ago. We are feeble. We live always on the brink of death, scarcely ushered into life. We begin our journey to the grave. Our best laid plans are ever at risk. Our fondest hopes are buried with us. Ambition drives us on to high exertion. Indulgence makes us waste the powers we have, and evil seduces us to heap misery upon others. Success and failure, love and hatred, pleasure and pain mark our days from birth to death. We prevail only to succumb. We fail only to renew the struggle. The eye is never satisfied with seeing. Endless are the desires of the heart. We devise new schemes on the graves of 1,000 disappointed hopes. Like Moses on Mount Nebo, we behold the promised land from afar but may not enter it. Our life at its best is an endless effort for a goal we never attain. Death finally terminates the struggle. And joy and grief, success and failure, all are ended. Like children falling asleep over their toys, we relinquish our grasp on earthly possessions only when death overtakes us. Master and servant, rich and poor, strong and feeble, wise and simple, all are equal in death. The grave levels all distinctions and makes the whole world kin. Bottom of page 481. Lord, you have been our refuge in all generations. For 1,000 years in your sight are but a yesterday when it is past, or as a watch in the night. The number of our years may be many or few, yet vain toil fills their span, for it's soon ended, and we fly away. So teach us to number our days, that we may grow wise in heart. Let the beauty of our eternal God be with us, and may our work have lasting value. O God, author of life and death, our wisdom is small, our vision short. One by one, our companions, passing along the road of life, disappear from our view. We know that each must walk the same path to the doorway of the grave. We strain to see what lies beyond the gate, but all is darkness to our mortal sight. You have created us in your image and made us share in your enduring righteousness. You have put eternity into our hearts, have implanted within us a vision of life everlasting. This hope we cherish in humility and faith, trusting in your endless goodness and your wondrous love. Sustain us, O God, that we may meet with calm serenity the dark mysteries that lie ahead, knowing that when we walk through the valley of the shadow of death, you are with us, a loving friend in whom we put our trust. You are the light of our life, our hope in eternity. Some messenger were to come to us with the offer that death should be overthrown, but with the one inseparable condition that birth should also cease. The existing generation were given the chance to live forever, but on the clear understanding that never again would there be a child or a youth or first love. Never again new persons with new hopes, new ideas, new achievements, ourselves for always and never any others. Could the answer be in doubt? Alas, for those who cannot sing but die with all their music in them. Let us treasure the time we have and resolve to use it well, counting each moment precious, a chance to apprehend some truth, to experience some beauty, to conquer some evil, to relieve some suffering, to love and be loved, to achieve something of lasting worth. Rabbi Tarfon said, "The day is short and the task is great, and the workers are sluggish, and the wages are high, and the master of the house is pressing. All things pass away, but you are eternal. Teach us, O God, to see that when we link ourselves to you and strive to do your will, our lives acquire eternal meaning and value, and sustain in us the hope, for we dare not ask for more, that the human spirit created in your image is, like you, eternal." In you, Lord, do I seek refuge. Let me never be put to shame. You have made my days a mere span. My life's duration is nothing before you. Those who stand firm are but a breath of wind. What hope have I then, Lord? My trust is in you. I dwell in the shelter of the Most High. I abide in the shadow of the Almighty. O Lord of life, bless the memory. May the pains of past bereavements grow more gentle indeed. Let them be transformed into gratitude to our dear ones who have died, and tenderness to those who are still with us. Mizmor leDavid Adonai roi, lo echzar, b'noteh sheyarbitzeni, amei menuchot yanhaleni, nafshi yoshvet yancheni, b'chmalei tzedek leman shemo, gam ki elech b'gdei tzalmadeh, lo irara, ki ata imadi, shiftecha mishantecha, hema yanchaluni, ta'aroch lefanai, shulchan negezorai, yishantecha v'ashemen roshi, kol siravaya, ach tov v'chesed yerdefuni, kol yemei chayai, v'shavti b'beit Adonai le'orech yamim. Mizmor leDavid Adonai roi, lo echzar, b'noteh sheyarbitzeni, amei menuchot yanhaleni, nafshi yoshvet yancheni, b'chmalei tzedek leman shemo, gam ki elech b'gdei tzalmadeh, lo irara, ki ata imadi, elalai elalai, ya elalai elalai, ya elalai elalai, ya elalai elalai, ya elalai. We continue with the English translation of what I just sang, Psalm 23, top of page 489. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. walk in the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil, for you are with me. Rod and staff comfort me. You've set a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You've anointed my head with oil. My cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of Adonai forever. O Lord of life, our times are in your hand. One generation comes into the world to be blessed with days of peace and safety. Another goes to the valley of the shadow, enduring the cruelties of persecution and war. Heartbreaking have been the times that have fallen to our lots, O God. We have lived through years of tyranny and destruction. We are schooled in sorrow and acquainted with grief. We have seen the just defeated, the innocent driven from their homes, and the righteous suffer a martyrdom as merciless as any ages have witnessed. At this hour of memorial, we recall with grief all your children who have perished through the cruelty of the oppressor, victims of demonic hate, the aged and young, and learned and unlettered, all driven in multitudes along the road of pain and pitiless death. Their very presence on earth was begrudged them, for they brought your covenant of mercy and justice to the recollection of your enemies. They perished because they were a symbol of your eternal law. Their death has brought darkness to the human soul. They lie in nameless graves, in far-off forests and lonely fields, and the substance of many was scattered by the winds to the earth four corners. Yet they shall not be forgotten. We take them into our hearts and give them a place beside the cherished memories of our own loved ones. They now are ours. Taken from our midst during the past year. Maurice Applebaum, Goldie Art, Boris V.Z. Berger, Shirley Berger, Edward Bradfield, Bertha Charkins, Jane B. Clark, Estelle Flagenspan, Carl Friedman, Rabbi David S. Haken, Esther Heyman, Eugene Kaplan, Esther Keller, Gladys Kirchick, Shelley Krause, Sonia Laufer, Dr. Robert Levin, Gloria Levine, David Lewin, Nancy Minson, Clara Morinson, Robert Robbins, Lori Simon, Alex Singer, Simon Strauss, Sylvia Swigenberg, Paul Toner, Wilma Walker, Cecile Levy-Weil, Norman Willis, David Wolfson, Marilyn Zimmerman, Ethan Cohn. Taking these dear ones into our hearts with all our beloved, we recall them now with reverence. In the rising of the sun and its going down, we remember them. In the opening buds and in the rebirth of spring, we remember them. In the rustling of leaves and in the beauty of autumn, we remember them. When we are weary and in need of strength, we remember them. When we have joys we yearn to share, we remember them. take a moment to say your own meditation of Yizkor, to remember your own dear ones. On page 491. Rise for El Malay Rachamim on page 492. Chatham, Mourner's Cottage. Iskadal, Iskadash, Raider, Yamad, Ibrah, Tirte, Yamlik, Maklute. Hayafon, Yomefon, Hayed, Hobe, Israel. Bagala, Uiswan, Kairi, Imru. H. Rabba, Barach, Leolam, Umeo, Maya. Itbarach, Ishabach, Isa'ar, Bitromam, Bitnase. Itazar, Bitale, Bitalal, Shmei, Kedusha. La'ila, Mikol, Berchata, Vashirata. Tishbachata, Venachamata. Ta'amiram, Be'ama, Be'imru. Hishlama, Rabba, Min Shemaya. B'chaim Aleinu, Be'al Yisrael, Be'imru. Osei Shalom, Imroma. Uyad, Sei Shalom.